100 people without even having no idea what is they are going to be tomorrow. And what will happen when they become 18, 20, 25 years old? They will find fault with this fellow. You have spoiled my life, they will say. I don't have a degree. I cannot go to America. See, everybody who is on the street has got a bigger dream in life.
Yeah.
How he will go to MIT or study, or maybe in Princeton University to go study? He want to go to IIT. He will not have even a degree to do that. He won't even have an English language.
Yeah.
It is not, no, and he don't even know social life. He don't know how to behave to a person because he has only behaved with the inmates inside and one master.
A disciplined environment.
Yeah. There are a lot of things in the society we learn. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are groomed for that. That is being actually stopped by this sort of process. Putting them, it's like a jail. It's like a social house which takes care of all the criminals, children. The children home, the social house.
Yeah, how these people, they are going to address the common man's day-to-day issues, solutions.
There are many things to learn in a family from father, mother, brother, sister, relationship building. Whereas they are only treating one fellow who is a master and who controls another 20, 30 people, right? Where do they learn this life relationship?
This will be missing. Only in isolation.
See, there is lot of difference between animals put in a cage and then in a zoo and animals in a wild forest, right? They are natural animals. We are creating like a boiler chicken children for some purpose, for making gardening or maybe cooking or maybe grill work. In the society, they will become unfit.
Not in the society. Generally, only mental enlightenment will be there.
See, it is not psycho. There are a lot of emotional feelings, how to deal with the people. They don't even know all that. Tomorrow. It is it's actually. See, that is what I am saying. We have to educate parents. We have to empower parents. How to share their ability, how to be a person with a... We have some concern today. Mohan Reddy is talking to me, Vijay is talking, somebody, Niramaya is talking, but many people are talking to us because we have so much concern about tomorrow's life.
Yeah.
Correct. How do we transfer this to many families should be our concern. That's it. Nothing beyond that.
Yes.
If that can be done, there is a societal change which will happen.
See, Vijay has not asked, he is not able to, his conviction has really not given him the courage to really see that what is there in the mind, even Narendra Reddy and Vijay and I've seen Sampath and all. The thing is like what I said, one is a prayer which can address without any what do you mean to say? Without any enlightenment, a layman's prayer which can address, which is pure beliefs, he can address, and his wish can be fulfilled. One is that. Second thing is what we can say, that can address like the rishis, the power of rishis to really having the energy to contain this thing, what all knowingly or unknowingly, what all is happening around.
See, what I am saying is, today I have a concern. Mohan Reddy, when something says, I am saying, this is not my idea. I am not able to convince with you. I give full freedom for Mohan Reddy to say that, what TPS is saying is not correct. I don't agree with you. Because we have the independency, we are not bounded together. But we have an attachment to each other. That is why we are keep on dialoguing.
Some commonality is there.
Yeah. What happens to some ashrams? When you have an ashram like so many people are doing so many things. One Swamiji is there who is the top, who has got a lot of disciples. Nobody can tell something against him saying that what you are saying is wrong.
Yeah.
So, whatever he thinks is, we have so many ashrams. Why the world has not changed? That is because what he thinks is what he thinks is correct. Assume that he has got a common goal of well-being of the human being. Why two ashrams cannot join together and put their ideas together? They cannot. Because his path is different, other fellow's path is different, other fellow's path is different. Everybody's path is different. That is what happens. Even Niramaya does it. I don't want to tell him that what you are doing is wrong. I indirectly hinted to him. I had a proposal like that, but I did not take it because I don't agree with what they proposed me. He should have, or I'm sure he must have had lot of dialogue with his people. He has got 100 families. All of them. Do you think I belong to somebody like Niramaya? Maybe once in a week, twice in a week, 12 months in a month, every weekend also I am ready to send my child. But I am not ready to send my child 365 days to somebody, even he is the President of India. And he guarantees that I will make your son as a President of India. Or maybe Modi says, I know politics, I will teach your son how to make politics. Send me to my place, I will teach him. I will not send, no.
That should not be. In this kind of informative world, I am also not expecting that kind of a thing.
Yeah. See, therefore, what happens is, we don't want that to happen. We want parents to get educated. Parents with good sense, good education, good knowledge, lot of money. At least we are not able to collect 100 families to think such things so that they can make their small ideas and let them start spreading this idea of how do we make people concerned about the food they eat, the thought process, the knowledge, where are we dealing, what are we doing, how do we govern the country better, how do we clean the politics. So let us have some thought process being communicated to people. We are not conscious about all this. This is what happens today. We are getting up early morning doing something. Politicians are also doing that. At the end of the day, they think what I did is not correct. Judges also thinking, administrators also thinking. Everybody is thinking they are doing a great thing, but after some time they feel I have not done anything great in my life. Even if you become rich or popular also, at the end of the life they think, what is that great thing, I have not done anything. Because the children did not do well. Maybe some faults in their life. Some repentance, though I have not done my life perfectly well. So many bad thoughts are there, right? How do we make sure that you are a family? Now you run a family which much better, bigger thought process. Where there can be debates, there can be disagreement, there can be a lot of... that's why I keep calling the name unconferencing. No? I don't want everybody to converge into one idea. We need to diverge it from different ideas. And we need a place. Yeah. We need a place. That is why it is called a university. No? We need a place, a university of consciousness living. Where people will come and then understand, what am I doing? Do a interrogation by themselves, introspection by themselves, communication to themselves, and then ask, am I doing the right thing in my life?
That is, introspection is okay.
How do they modify? See, when they
have lost the discussion, no.
No, when they modify, you keep discussing in between people and then find, maybe this is one model which I have to try. Let me go through that and then work for some time. Not necessarily I should become a 100% agriculture person. Not 100% I should become a film person. Not 100% I become a policeman. Let me invest some of my time for some other activity which will give benefit to me and society, to the tomorrow's world. Everybody has time, right? Who doesn't have time? So let me invest some time for some purpose. So now there is an agriculture person. Let me invest some of my money, some of my time, some of my thing, and then go with Manmohan Reddy for some time. So we need to make such small pockets where I can invest my time, invest my money, invest my effort, invest my thoughts. So we have different compartments to be shown. Agriculture, business, maybe spirituality, maybe literacy, writing, cinema, whatever you want. Maybe education. Yeah, think about education. How do we make this difference? Let 10 people think about it and start an institute by themselves. I'm saying not one person should run the show, but all of
Yeah,
them.
sir, this I agreed. My point is, see, I agreed this once we have information in the air, see, we are not bound to one kind of an entity. That is clear.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how to discipline ourselves so that the bigger potential can be explored. This is what
That is what I'm saying. That is what we need, a place where we can make them to consciously live. When we are conscious about it, our effort becomes much bigger and higher. See, I am eating something, but I am not. My concentration is not on the food, so I lost my taste. You understood? When I am eating, each bit I am taking, looking at it, enjoying it. When I am eating, I know.
How to trigger this conscious. The thing is,
every
how to trigger this conscious.
That is why I am saying conscious living. Every action which you do, see, when I am talking to Manmohan, I am not talking with some fake ideas. I am thinking internally, processing it, developing and making a reflection on the thoughts. Right? How many people do that? They only read from somewhere, take somebody's idea and then mug up and then put it somewhere. That is why when you send a lot of things, I am not very happy with that. I am not looking at some sample somewhere, some picture somewhere. I don't want to draw something which somebody else have drawn. Why can't you look at it and draw this? He himself is drawing. Why should I draw something new? Let me look at the whole thing which is in front of me and then make my own picture. But that thought should come in 100 people, so that some creative people will come with something new.
Yeah.
To that we can go to different. I told you, you can go to Kolhapur and look at it, no problem. But I don't have to go to Kolhapur today to look at it. DeSchooling, one documentary. Did I send you that?
What is the title?
I mentioned DeSchooling.
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 DeSchooling, yeah. John Holt and all, like I gone through that one.
Yeah, the school dismissed school now. That itself is a great learning. If you look at it, I don't think we have not made a beautiful documentary like that, how to make people learn from such things, So there are beautiful things which already have drawn somebody. Why should I draw Krishna's picture again? Already Krishna's picture has been put, right?
Yeah, that's true. Already they spent big time and they have come down.
Yeah. So
just come down from an enlightened soul. Oh.
No, they are experienced people. So when you say dismissed, the school dismissed, class dismissed, there are a lot of beautiful things on homeschooling. Class dismissed. Have you seen that?
What is dismissed? Dismissed?
Dismissed. Class dismissed. Homeschooling documentary. I'll send you. I'm sending you.
No, I didn't got it. Dismissed, it means?
Dismissed. Dismiss. Get them. Throw out.
There's no fun in being a part of the class, you mean to say?
That is what the title itself says. Class dismissed. It's a beautiful documentary. I just posted to you.
See, I have been into this from 2001.
See,
John Holt.
This is a home school documentary, which actually the American people they wanted their. India doesn't require homeschooling, and we are not fit for that.
Yeah.
Homeschooling is not that my child goes to Dr. Manmohan Reddy and learn. Homeschooling is my students will learn from my parents at my house. I require some supplementary thing. I will take them to I take them to a beach where 10 similar families will come and spend a time there. They can share.
Yeah.
Understood? Where is that we have? We don't have. One. Second one, how many parents are qualified enough to give that environment in their house? Knowledge in their house? Support them, direct them. Do we have counselors for this? This is what I want, that conscious living. When we say there is no point in, you are not consciously sending your children to school to study. Because we know nothing is happening. Every parent says there is nothing happening. Teachers are useless. Education is useless. But still we will send them because we are not conscious about doing it. Like eating without knowing that I am eating. Understood?
Yeah.
So we have to educate these few parents, and few, at least they will influence somebody. Therefore, these sort of things will happen. Then we need a place where these people can come and stay with us for a week. Go back home. Another 10 days, go back home. 1 day and go back home. Visit with their friends and then go back. We need to have a place, nothing happens there. Actually, only discussions. But whatever we live, it's like a facility where I cultivate, I eat, I make some small things, and then when they come, there is an activity which is happening. There is like a lecture, not a hall and all that. See, that day also, Niramaya, he was telling, we will have another 400 people can sit, you can do lecture, you can listen to lecture. Bored with the lectures.
Is constructing one hall for that.
Yeah, actually, what we need is to discuss something. Do we have some concept which is entirely different? Across. When 3 parents comes, do they, the other day, again I got from this fellow, Sky Schooling. He had sent a message asking me, can you talk on some topic?
Sky Schooling. No. You see, when you gone to the bigger extent of deschooling, the Sky Schooling still is not matured enough to.
I am creating a documentary department. As it grows, I will depute some people to study your wonderful work for positive utilization. Meanwhile, if you have proposals of volunteers who can support us in collecting materials, edit, expand, reduce, content, support in video editing, please let me know. Time to go faster together. Last time I told him, I don't want to listen to your lecture. Whenever I enter, you are only blah 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 blah, which is useless, I said. Told him straight. Again he says, he is asking. Also, last year I did 41 days of Mandala online summer camp for children for primary to 12th class, 4 hours every day. Usually from 1st May to 14th. Can you be part of it? So many things he keep on writing. I am not even responding. Generally, I cannot stop without responding. But he says, can you give a title where I can speak on this, that and all. He keep on asking. Then I told him, let us...
First day, sir, first day only I said no. That's the reason I said I cut shorted. So I know that they are not that kind of a thing which they want to take down to next level. So that's the reason I cut shorted. But Vijay is a different man. He gets
he asked me, good morning DrTPS, will you do a program on Dharma, Adharma and Swadharma coming Monday 21st February between 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. What does it mean? I have to give a lecture or what? If yes, kindly post your profile for circulation. I told him, could discuss. And then he said, I will call you sometime today. No call came. Finished. Even if you call, what he will say, that 10 minutes he will go on lecturing without even listening.
So I left it, sir. That side, sir. Srinivas is not our cup of tea. I don't want, because either we are not fit into his kind of a thinking. So I
no,
left it.
Either what we need to do is now, either Nagaratnam Naidu's place is good enough. If you want to expand, he gives some sort of it is not owning it, but running some supplementary programs like this, get together, meeting, conferencing, discussions. Maybe some families can come, stay there, some facility to stay, some expansion process. If some 10 people are ready to see, it is not that, one person or two person cannot draw money, or there is already facility like Pragati. But at least 10 people are not ready to contribute for this. That means you don't even have 10 people for this sharing of this idea. So why should we construct such a thing and waste it?
No, see, Nagaratnam, if not like Srinivas, he has something in his mind. If not, he cannot share down some inputs and all, like, but something is okay, but not of Srinivas kind of a sort. Let us not waste our time. So the first meeting itself, I thought Vijay is okay. Vijay is he because he is a technical person. He explores when he speaks. Also, he speaks with a bigger conscience and with a bigger clarity. I understood because I spoke to him too many times. He has something in his mind. He want to really stand for it. But Srinivas, no, I don't want to waste our time to speak a minute also about him. Just
No, we need to, what I'm saying is we need to create at least a 10 people member team who will discuss, not like somebody putting their idea to somebody else and followers who are concerned about it, where we will discuss.
The frame. No. What I'm saying that as you come to narrow down to a point, what is the outer frame should be what we need to say that this is a Lakshman Rekha. On these within this frame, you try to everybody need to bind for this common agenda or societal implications. So if we can give them some frame, at least those who are interested, they can join. As I said, no, like Gurukulam doesn't have similar way in farming also. Those who think that it's not only growing, they should be able to consciously see that their produce to move the produce to the right conscious customer. They should be able to have the man and machine to do that. It's not only growing; they are heroes in growing, but they are becoming zeros in marketing. So we need to only start information. I started from the DeSchooling only.
Okay.
I'm not fitting into the regular one. Now at least we came to a bigger common point now. See, I started from there. That's the reason I say that learning is a bonus. Whether it comes from farming or sports or from any arts, so it can trigger so many things. See, because at the end of the day, it's a living. It doesn't mean that living can be only by owning a language or by some XYZ. So it can happen. A farmer is living a happy life. So what has happened now? The farming is farming is because he's not educated. We are thinking that.
No, I don't know where to start and where can we have such a. We need money, we need land, we need people. All the three are not there. It is not doesn't worth. Any of this is not there. It doesn't worth.
Yeah.
So we need people, at least 10 people. We need at least 2 acres of land or 1 acre of land.
No. First you said three things. First 3 things. Let us stick to that. That is, sir, in this age of your kind of what I mean to say, your kind of a stature. See, I don't think this getting a land, getting money.
No, but it cannot be too far. See, I am sure Dr. Mohan Reddy will. We have got Pragati also will give a land.
This is understood. Accessibility is a primary thing that I can make out.
Even Pragati, see, why am I not going to Pragati? Not because he is not viable. I cannot change him. I cannot mold him. His land is too far. Again, it is too far.
Too far and too costly.
Yeah, and he cannot see. He cannot come down to a level where we have a different things to do, and then you cannot have a organic or maybe that nature hospital along with a 5-star hospital. You cannot run, no. Because they do a scanning and they make money out of somebody.
Yeah, it is only a window. They are searching for windows to scale up.
That's it.
So, when I see you are saying, sir, again I'm saying that because I saw that impact guru. What I'm saying, that idea, let us really put forward into the crowd form so that that can the why I send that models is basically.
See, correct, Guru. It is all that ideas are good. Now we need to go into practical. Whether I should use a spade or a arrow or what is to be used is depend on my ability of land, ability of money, people who come together. Let us think together and do what to next. So we have this idea. This consciousness is being discussed. We need now to start somewhere so that people will come. See, we have now 100 people. Maybe 5 of them will come in the beginning. Good enough. Either see, I don't know how big is the see 20 kilometer either from Charminar can be 50 kilometer from this place. That doesn't matter. Within some 50 kilometer around this Hyderabad, no.
I'll give an example. Yesterday I was there in Alwal.
Alwal is a beautiful place.
No. The Surya Nagar, something like that. Believe me, to going to my I'm feeling because I started it is hardly 50, somewhere 22 kilometers.
Yeah.
From my place is 22 kilometers. But it took me more than 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
Very disgusting. Really.
But that is what I'm saying. For me, Alwal is only 6 kilometer and it is only 10 minutes. See,
right.
that is what I'm saying. Let us not bother about when I have to take 20 minutes to cross the city is not a big problem. But from city, if I have to go to another 1 hour is a big problem, I'm saying. See, because you have not chosen the good transport, you took long time. Otherwise, today, if you take a metro from your place to Paradise, from Paradise to Alwal is only 20 minutes drive.
See, in this journey, Niramai is different man, but Anjanelu is a committed person. As far as my knowledge
that
goes.
Is, and he doesn't have
too many rigid ideas.
And not that he don't want to expand beyond something is not that, but he has got something in mind which he don't know what is to be done. That's why I thought that may be an expandable place close to city. We can go to Nagaratnam Naidu quite often and then start making some.
Give me a second. Can I explore? You know, easy free Anjanelu.
No, don't do. Why Anjanelu? Who is that?
That man, the farmer. En route we came. No, this man. The other day when we both came previously, we madam and. I've been to his farm. I said no. I walked this to his farm.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any much interest. I thought. I think he is only enjoying his retirement. That's what I felt in a farm. I don't think he doesn't have any commitment on doing something great. He is only looking at maybe a resting time. That's what I felt from his.
Connecting to this, you are clear with this. I understand. Only we want to put the right thinking people who are really.
No, see, once we decide, anyway, that is not an option for us to go and stay or plan something in that place, right?
A place is a place we need to have, but basically agenda. What is?
No, that can be next moment. We now having seen and your idea, you have a lot of people. You know, you have seen different people. Assume that now Nagaratnam Naidu is one where we can decide now. And that's what I said, it's not one place. Once we start, we can make multiple places. To start with little bit, we need a place. That's only what we are saying. That can be Nagaratnam Naidu. That itself is good enough, I am saying.
It is one of the station.
That we start, then get these people there to discuss.
Without any tagline?
No. If they are looking at it, they also feel, yeah, I also need to create such a small group with my people. Let us think about it. That's a good idea.
No, what is the tagline we are supposed to take lead?
This is what I'm saying. Conscious living. We need to have a conscious living center, a global conscious living temple.
Temple we can call. Okay. But what modules? Again, the other day he said that basically triggering. See, what is they are looking? Vijay has said that how to bring them to unwind from their kind of a stalemate situations. That is one part. When they come out of their incubation, their kind of a phobias, then how they can be part of the bigger this conscious temple. That this initiative, how they can be part of this. Yeah. So once we want to bring them out of their stalemates.
See, before even talking to you every day morning, what I do is I think of something. I wrote here in the corner. You can see conscious living temple. I wrote.
Yeah,
I never knew that you are going to discuss today, but what I did is when I was sitting here, I just wrote Global Conscious Living Temple.
Yeah, that's good. That's why I asked, I insisted, no, what is the tagline we need to carry? Without the tagline, people at the end of the day, what we discussed means, see, we cannot be generalized. It has to really
In that
take away
conscious
kind of
living temple, it can be cooking, it can be eating, it can be studying, it can be planning for education, planning for a family, planning for the societal activity, planning for politics. Am I conscious really, or am I following what politicians did yesterday? I will also do the same thing.
Now, conscious living, is it that do we have the discretionary powers to say that the development means development and not at the cost of our own?
Yeah, see, when I am conscious, see what happens is when I am conscious, I'll tell you, a lion doesn't produce children unless lion understands there is sufficient food to eat for the children.
Yeah, like an insect, which when it thinks that there is a ready food available, then only it will lay the eggs. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it won't lay.
See, but human beings are not like that. Understood?
They have that. So the God will take care.
Yesterday, I came in an auto from there. I was asking the auto driver, he has got 6 children. Now he is troubling, actually struggling. His BTech, 2 children are studying BTech, 1 MBA. What to do with this money which he drives auto? He is really don't know how he is living.
He's not aware of it.
See, but his children also will do it. Because they are not conscious about every activity which they do in their life.
What is that? See, this word is not a word. It is a what you can say. It's not a word. What do you say? This conscious is something.
I am unconsciously being conscious about what I am doing most of the time.
I am unconsciously.
See, there are two things. I am unconsciously conscious about things. I am consciously unconscious about what I am doing.
Consciously,
See, I know I am eating breakfast.
Yeah.
That is my conscious. That's why I keep ready. Breakfast is ready. I eat. But soon after that, if somebody asks, what did you eat? I don't remember what I ate because my concentration was not on that.
Somewhere.
Got it? So I am consciously being unconscious most of the time. I am going to office. I know that my job is this, but I do something there and come back. So we always are unhappy. We don't remember what we did. We don't know what we have done. That is the fate of most of the human being.
No, that's the reason I am saying that. First job is how to trigger this consciousness into every individual.
Every action which you do. See, I have got a lecture in Utkal University. I don't know, some Delhi University or somewhere. Somebody called me a lecture. Philosophy department. So they wanted a title. So what I gave is whether your karma is conscious or not.
Whether your karma is a
conscious karma. See, just to fight.
Right, I got it.
Just to fight, Arjuna did not discuss so much things about 17 chapters to convince that my fighting is required or not. Krishna would have told to fight. But you see the questions he asked, he went up to meditation, samadhi, yoga practice, everything, lot of doubts. Just for a war, as a warrior to fight, he has this many questions. He is only doing what he knows. Got it?
Consciously is doing.
What is that Krishna was developing throughout was improving the consciousness of Arjuna, talking about what impact it can create your action. If you don't do what impact it can create, the whole education process. So we are not even educating for producing a children, the parents. That is why 6 children for auto driver and he don't know how to make them to survive. Got it?
So once we trigger this consciousness, then they'll have the discretion power.
Yes.
At their disposal.
Yadeshchati tata kuru. I am not going to tell you what you should do. You do what you think from all the knowledge which you grasped. But what knowledge? Not somebody's examples. See, Arjuna did not tell, Krishna did not tell Arjuna, look at your grandfather, what he did, you do it like that. No.
Mm.
Arjuna is never driven by examples of brother, father, grandfather, colleagues, and everybody.
Mm.
He is only defining what is generic life. How a generic person has to be. What is life and afterlife? What is life for the great fellows?
The individual consciousness
Yes.
for a collective human being.
Yes. You have a bigger purpose. We have a bigger purpose to prevail dharma in the place where you are living is what is your job. Now,
you said, no, karmic,
now you decide what is to be done. Do you want to fight or not? You decide.
So this is what I understood. I'm saying that. See, your conscious dharma, na? What is it?
Karma.
With conscious. Hmm. So this is a big capsule. It is a bigger capsule.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
So with that, shall we go? We'll take the developmental path or be a part of that. That individual can decide.
Yes.
So, do you think that this once we trigger this kind of an individual's potential by injecting a word called conscious into the brain, then some commonality will exist and with a purpose?
Yes. What I wrote is karma, the conscious action. So we can. That is what we want. This place where the golden conscious temple, what happens is every karma which you do, you become consciously aware of what is to be done, for which you need to gain lot of knowledge from the divergent experience of different people. That is what Krishna has given Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. It is not that Arjuna don't know how to arrow and kill, but he had a doubt: am I doing the right thing or not? It needs to be clarified to him, telling. We don't have doubts now. We are doing as we are projected by one fellow who taught us how to do, or one who produced us and say that this is what you have to do. You do it. That's it.
So just revolving around this thing, how with your conviction and your intuition, what is that really? What you can say? At least 2 or 3 modules. How we can trigger and how we can take this initiative. With money or without money, with place, without place, but we need to have the bigger thing, no? That as you said, the temple, conscious temple, you are saying, no?
See, in that, I'll tell you, if I make my Malkajgiri house good also, I can sit and discuss there. But I am saying, we are talking about a bigger thing, we need a bigger ambience. Otherwise, we can discuss like this on this also.
Business.
But that doesn't give life.
The seed, I am looking at the seed. If the seed is right, when put into the universal conscious, then everybody...
That is where we want to show example like Nagaratnam Naidu. He has lived a life, he created a garden.
He lived in a garden.
He could have lived a better life, selling it into property and then making that 5 crores or 10 crores and then put in a bank every day, eat well in a 5-star style, stay in an air condition. Mohan Reddy also could have done it. But we are not doing it, no? You understood?
Yeah.
We are actually struggling. We are being uncomfortable for a comfortable feel which we have to share to many people.
For a greater good.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying, that we need to have a weapon called this one, this one, as you said, the karmic, conscious karmic kind of a thing. That one, 3 or 4 steps down the line.
Yeah.
What are the 3 steps? At least I hope 3 is enough. So that the other people, once we trigger that, the remaining things can take charge of it.
See, everything goes around life. Okay. So how do we live a life in full enjoyment. That is my starting for last 20 years is that only. Live in full enjoyment. Not I enjoy today and tomorrow repent for what I did. Right? I see today's life is I am enjoying today because I have got an itching, I am keep on scratching. I am enjoying while scratching what I am getting is enjoyment. So glad, no? But after some time I realized it made a bigger wound. So I said, oh, I should not have scratched that. This is what is happening to most of us.
Yeah. See, I'll say one thing. See, with conscious only, they have created a mansions called MIT, Harvard, and all. Now it's a U-turn. The physical structures that is not going to really.
No, see, there is no single solution. There is no single solution for the whole world's problem, because world is so diverse. We need people who get. I am able to communicate with Dr. Mohan Reddy because I am educated, you are educated, I can speak same language to you.
Yeah.
So what is there in the world, what is created in the world, there is an impact there is a hole there is a, this is not the way it is to be. What we should avoid all that. What was the purpose of Charminar? He would have constructed something else there. Is not my business at all, right? He would have had some purpose.
No, as you are saying, no, one fine day, if this learning our children will repent, saying that just because I was on your path.
Yeah. Therefore, what we need is we having all that in our brain. What do we do? How do we take it forward? Is what we are discussing now. So how do we take it forward? We need at least what America has done 10 years back of DeSchooling, class dismissed, homeschooling program. They had parents who were convinced themselves that I do this.
Not convinced. They experienced the pitfalls of this compulsory learning.
See, the pitfalls they experienced because their children were going to schools at the grade 5. The parent realized this is not the way. How many Indian parents are convinced of such things today? I cannot sell my idea to somebody else because parents are not convinced. So I cannot drag people and create a school where I copy that idea. Who will send? Those people who cannot even feed their children will send their children there. They are not sending because they are not convinced. They are convinced.
Sir, one second. See, my conviction, again I'm saying, this this learning, so-called learning for a living.
Yeah.
This is one thing. Learning can be through sports also. It is a livable job, no? So why we are not able to take you're saying that.
See, whatever either it is to sports, it is through music, it is through acting, it is through politics, it is through milking, or it is through feeding, or it is through doing a job. Everything together is called as savidya. Avidya. Avidya is what gives me food. What gives me skill for helping somebody else or creating a job myself, my profession, which pay me salary for my life. That has to still go. If I need without a degree, I cannot join for postgraduates. So I need a degree, nothing wrong. Can we supplement the avidya part of it? Let me learn some theorem from, maybe grammar from somewhere. With that thought process only, I am able to think about, oh, what I did is correct, what I learned is correct. So my idea is, we cannot revamp the whole system, we cannot change the whole thing. Even I can also take a barren land and then start producing, and 20 years I will make a Nagaratnam Naidu's type of farm. I am not doing it because I don't want to waste my energy. There is one Nagaratnam already there. This is like today's established education system is already there. I am only building around it. Similarly, I am building around Nagaratnam Naidu's facility. So how do we work in the present system? I am not blaming what they are doing. That's why I said, even when we do something, probably somebody will feel, XYZ will also feel my farm also I need to do something. I had great hope on Madhav Rao or maybe Srinivas Innekar and all that. Understood? When I had some discussions or maybe, but then when I saw that in practicality there is nothing other than investment, making money, nothing wrong, but he has also done so many things. But I am not able to convert that. Probably if I can buy a land there, 1 acre land and create my own thing, I cannot create it because the rest of the things are like commercial. No, you understood? It's like I am creating a temple in a Monda market. How does it look like? For teaching silence, I am creating a temple in Monda market. It cannot happen.
Yeah.
That is why I am saying in today's situation, probably whatever you have shown me, I have not seen anything other than Pragati, which I had a direct interaction or talk to him. All the other connections came through Dr. Manmohan. So with and you have seen much bigger. So from all that, what I thought is we can create a small center for conscious living, learning center, where life is being taught. Live in full enjoyment. Learn in full enjoyment. That is what life. Life is learn in full enjoyment, live in full enjoyment. Learning is an investment for future earning. That is life. These three tag is what I created 20 years back. Even still I am not changed it. But now that future earning is not physically earning money, materialistically earning money. What is DrTPS earning money, earning in life? Lot of contact, lot of people, a lot of wisdom people who can talk. I can discuss with so many people. That is the earning which we should have. Socially we are growing. Physically we are growing. My earning should be physical, materialistic. Emotionally I should have some people connected to me. Intellectually I should grow. Socially I should grow. And spiritually also I should grow. So fivefold development center. It's a real fivefold development center. And not for one. It is Swadharma, Kudumba Dharma, Professional Dharma, Samuha Dharma, Loka Dharma, Rashtra Dharma, everything should be there.
So,
and also, whatever like what we said is like 4 stages in life. Right?
Yeah. See, this what you mentioned, no? See, my conviction again is this as it with an excited way, we can trigger so many untapped potentials, which can trigger for what you can call the small journeys, basic needs. Basic needs can be really fulfilled when you can trigger that through sports or any other art forms.
Yeah.
So then this will become easy. We don't have the triggerer like these things. We are not valuing these supporting systems.
No,
we are only focusing on learning.
That is what I am saying. Let us create a place where we can create this facility. That is why when I said immediately after doing Nagaratna's, next week I said let us go for a kite flying, right? You suggested kite flying. Immediately I said let us plan it. I created a flyer. At least 3 people would have gone and then started that. That's how I work. Understood? Let us. Why you should talk to another 3 fellows and who will not agree with my idea and then say that it doesn't work? I can always find out 4 people who doesn't agree with me. Why can't you look at people who agree if you are agreed?
Again, nobody is there. They don't have discretion to whether to agree or disagree.
That's what I say. You don't have to worry about those people who don't want, no.
Just to they come down like that.
See, I'll tell you, Manmohan ji, that day, we suggested or we have discussed Nagaratnam Naidu said, everybody who comes to the garden, if I have invested my time, he should be paid for that. No.
Yeah. Mm.
Did I say that and keep quiet? No, I don't do it. I immediately act. Understood? That is what we should become examples in life. We don't become examples like that. That is what our problem is. When I say that, when I have a conviction that I must do this, and you suggested Kite Festival is coming, it's the right time to do it. I am for that. It is not that Dr. TPS has got a great interest in kite flying. I never flown kite in my life. But when somebody says we will fly kite, yeah, I am there. That's what I do. It is not my interest.
Yeah.
I am not trying to put my interest on XYZ. I am saying you have interest, I am there. It is not that Dr. TPS wanted to act in films. Somebody has seen on internet, looked at me on YouTube, thought about me for 6 months. With a lot of courage, he came and asked me, I have a small story, will you do a role for me? If I say that I don't, I asked him, how did you know? I'm looking at you for a long time. I know that you have, this is one method we can work together, start somewhere, and I have this story which is pending. What is shooted yesterday was somebody's story which was rolling for 1.5 years. They couldn't make it. I intervened and then I spoke to him for half an hour. I said, we are going to do it. You plan. I am there with you. Everything is done. See, unless we roll, there are a lot of problems, lot of lacuna, there are a lot of unprofessional things also. We may have to do it. That's a different matter. Let us roll it. That's only what I'm saying. See, you have not seen. When you said, I need some, immediately I have sent a message to you. Send me your bank account, I am sending you money. You didn't see. Otherwise, 1 week, 2 weeks back, I would have sent you. This is what I do. When we need to do something, we have to immediately do it as an example and show, I can show it. See, the other day I went and stayed in a MLA's, to be MLA sort of a thing. He is a big leader there. Beautiful banana. Immediately I am thinking, why I have not planted bananas here? No? It doesn't require too much of shade, is also not a problem. Banana always bend in such fashion wherever this is there. Now I am looking for some nice varieties of banana, some 10 varieties, 50 things I can plant here in my backyard.
Saplings, right?
Yeah, if I have, I will plant it. If I cannot show that as an example, why should I speak? See, the time you said, immediately I made at least few brinjal, few murchi, few bitter gourd, few all that I cultivated here. No, one role I have done, which I have done probably after 40-50 years in my life. Got it.
So what again is there in Vijay's mind is, see, he has got some kind of people who can really be of what you can subconsciously, they can really enlighten individuals. They have some kind of workshops so that once
we will do all that. Let us go to Nagaratnam's place and then make a small. Now there is a hall, there is a place, there is a good tree shade, there is a good kitchen. All that can be done with a little bit of.
No, he is carrying a fear. I understood. He is carrying a fear of whether our Shashigaru can really accept somebody who can really give this kind of a workshop kind of a thing to trigger the potential of their individuals with the subconsciously training them to be a part of the consciousness.
Let them do whatever. That is what I'm saying. I am an unconferencing fellow. I am not a conferencing fellow. I don't pose what is to be done. Let us think and get experience from many people. Who will come? We are not going to get a rugged fellow who has no ideas. We need people who have got ideas, who will come. And you are able to discuss with me, no? Then only we have some conversion will happen only when we have some directions. If you are only a line segment, we are not having a ray, we are not going to converge. Converge will happen only when we have a ray. line segments cannot converge. So you are ready to grow. That's what the first thing what you should say.
It has to have that arrow kind of a thing.
Then only the convergence will come. So let us think. Let us meet very very soon at Naga.
Vijay is very soon. He is going to he is carrying that only one baggage.
Yeah, actually, I did not call him even when I know that he was around Tenali, because he was not. He says I will come back to you after discussing with some XYZ. Why he should discuss? See, I am saying why he should discuss with some XYZ for a convincing thing, where we can also discuss, no?
No. This baggage, once you say that, Vijay, I am in the unconference mode, so don't try to carry the baggage. See, just let us have an open mind. Let us invite anybody.
I am not rich enough to give anything to anybody in terms of knowledge also, in terms of experience also. I am only trying, I can only reflect. So I am ready to reflect on somebody's thoughts. That reflection is what I have done when he was pushing his idea of Gurukulam. I also suggested there is another place where you can go and see. Correct? It is not that I did not add one idea. I said there is some similar Gurukulams. You can also go and see. I add values. That's it. That's only what. Anything which you do is good.
So I hope today he will join. Our Vijay can join. So at least you don't have any classes. I hope so.
I have some visitor coming. I told some other Sanskrit Padashala person who is running a Sanskrit Padashala in Begumpet was trying to talk to me for last 1 month. Because of so many things, every time when he calls, he's a teacher in arts college. So morning I had an interview actually from 4:30 to 5:30. So when he asked time, I said you can come at 6 o'clock. But that interview did not happen. That's why when I called, I gave a return call to you. Probably he doesn't have current, or maybe coverage was not there. Okay, so this man, Veda, I'm seeing Dr. Meduri Suryanarayana. Okay, he saw my video and he was talking to me for almost a month. So he is asking 6 o'clock exactly. He said he is starting from Begumpet. So anytime he will be here.
Okay, sir.
So I'll finish that. Maybe we will go to Nagaratnam's place one of these days and then start.
Okay, meanwhile, I'll update with Vijay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir?
Yeah.